Hi there guys, Mike Graham here from SME Skills Academy and welcome to the SME Skills Academy 30-day Supercharge Your Sales Challenge. And welcome to day number 6. And what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about how understanding your KPIs, your key performance indicators, has a direct correlation to you being successful with your results, right? So we've all heard of the phrase diamonds are made under pressure, and it's the exact same thing for successful salespeople, entrepreneurs, and business owners. The key element is understanding where to put the pressure, where to create that pressure so that you generate the diamonds, right? And it really doesn't matter what industry you're in, what country you're in, you have to have a strong understanding of your KPIs. What I mean by KPIs, the terminology really stands for key performance indicators. What I really mean is understanding your numbers, right? Understanding how your numerical activity has an impact in your results. And what I mean by results is I'm talking about your deals and I'm talking about the amount of money that you're generating, the billing that you're actually making, right? I remember when I've launched in the past, when we've gone to, as a business, when we've gone to different countries. For example, we've expanded to Nigeria in the past, we've expanded to India in the past, and I remember when I went, the numbers were very different to the situation in the UK. For example, in the UK, I knew that my closing ratio, I remember when we went to Nigeria, my closing ratio at the time was 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 prospects that I would meet, I would pretty much convert into a paying client. When I went to Nigeria, I remember the first 10 prospects that I met, I didn't convert a single one. So I had to get up to understanding that the numbers were going to be much higher for many different reasons. The price sensitive nation of the price sensitivity of the territory was much higher. The budget was less. The understanding of developing a skill set like sales was a bit different. And so I had to put in the activity to generate a bigger result, right? To generate the results. And that activity, what it turned out was that my number was about 15. For every 15 prospects that I met, I was getting one deal, right? And so what that meant is I had to put a lot of pressure in terms of generating those 15 prospects so that then I would get my one deal, right? It was the same thing when we went to India. When we went to India, much bigger territory than, for example, the UK, but there were different challenges. And our numerical activity had to be much higher, right? So when you look at your numbers, it's trying to understand that your numbers never lie, right? Your numbers never lie. So what I mean by that is when you think of the trail in your business, you've got at the very end, if we start at the end and we work backwards, you've got the billing, right? The billing that you generate. So for example, 100,000, right? Following on from that deal, following on from that number, you've got your deal. So understanding the number of deals you need to make for that. Whenever we've gone to a new territory, we've always focused on what is the revenue that we want to make. How many deals do we need for that revenue? Following on from the number of deals, how many hot prospects will we need? Following on from the hot prospects, how many leads, how many people do we actually need to physically meet? And following on from that, how many leads do you have to generate? And it's really understanding how that relationship between those numbers work and understanding that if you are very aggressive, remember at the start of the video, I talked about diamonds are made under pressure. If you really focus on putting the pressure in terms of at the beginning and getting a lot of meetings. So whatever you need to do to get a lot of meetings, push the meetings through, because that will help you to understand the correlation through that KPI flow, or really that sales process. It'll help you to understand the correlation of how those numbers work and how that comes together, right? The biggest problem, I think, when people are new to sales or when they start something new or even when they're established, is that the emotion comes into play, right? For example, I remember when I first left the UK to go to Nigeria to do an event, to generate sales, right? I remember thinking this is going to be easy, right? Because I'm coming with a British brand, it's going to be amazing, everybody's going to want to buy it, right? And I remember when the first 10 people didn't buy, it kind of, I was a bit shocked, and I remember we had to go back to the drawing board. We reevaluated the situation. When I came back the second time to Nigeria, we ran an event, right? So again, when you look at putting pressure in on that KPI flow, in on that sales process, we ran an event. And at the event, we got 100 people into the room. We just wanted bums on seats. We just wanted leads. We wanted people to talk to. From the 100 people in the room, we ended up getting about 60 of them as prospects. Now, there was a dropout flow, but the point is the end number, which was our billing target, which at that time was about 70 grand, we hit that billing target, right? But to hit that billing target, we needed so many leads in at the beginning. So it's figuring out your activity, and it's figuring out your numbers and what activity you need to do at each stage to get those numbers coming through. On top of that, what will happen is as you get good with your KPI flow, as you get good with your sales flow, you'll learn to preempt objections that come through the process. You'll learn how to incentivize people with offers, create urgency, build greed, to get people excited to give you a quicker, faster buying decision, right? But to get to that level where you've got that skill, you've really got to focus on the fundamental, and one of the most fundamental parts of generating the result, of getting the billing, of getting the deals, regardless of industry, regardless of territory, right? Because, and I'm talking from a little bit from experience here, I've worked with hundreds of different industries. I've worked in many different territories, and in many different types of products and services. And regardless what someone is selling, regardless what the territory is like, regardless what the industry is like, the fundamentals of business development, the fundamentals of sales are the same. You've got to have a great attitude, you've got to work hard, and you've got to use your skill set. In the beginning, you don't have that skill set, you don't have that opportunity. So you've got to do the other two. You've got to have a great attitude, and you've got to have a great work ethic. And where the work ethic comes in is at the most fundamental level, and that's what I really want you to get from this video today, is something that you can take away and implement immediately at the most fundamental level. Is you've got to understand your KPIs. So my trick for you guys would be very clear on the number of billing you want to do, how many deals do you want to make, how many hot prospects do you need for that, and how many prospects, how many meetings do you need to have on a weekly, monthly basis to generate that result. On average, when I used to work directly with clients, on average, the focus was 3 to 5 sales meetings a week. 3 to 5 decent sales meetings a week. If you're doing that on a monthly basis, you've got 12 to 20 meetings a month. Now, even if your closing ratio is really poor, like for me, like how it was in Nigeria, even if your closing ratio is really poor, you're still going to do deals, and you're still going to be hitting your billing target, right? So, focus, like I said, when you focus on those 3 key things of business development, the fundamentals, the sales, you focus on having great attitude, working hard, developing the skill. Most people want to try and develop the skill, but they haven't really pushed to develop the work ethic and the attitude. The attitude and the work ethic come first, and then through the process of that and developing your KPIs and getting your numbers right, through the process of that, you're going to develop your skill sets, right? So listen, I hope this video has helped you. Final little point that I want to make so far is you have to become obsessed with the numbers. You have to become obsessed with the numbers in your business. And I'll give you a classic example. When I used to do cold calling, because when I first started the business many years ago, I used to do a lot of cold calling. And when I used to do cold calling, it's hard. It's hard. You get a lot of rejection, you get a lot of no's, and you're really just looking for a couple of yeses. But it's the same thing through the entire sales process with business. And I remember when I was doing cold calling, I had to call 50 to 100 people every day to get my certain number of leads that I was trying to get in. And my target was on a daily basis. I wanted to book 3 good meetings. I wanted to book 3 good meetings into my pipeline on a daily basis. So I understood that I had to do 50 calls. And from the 50 calls, I understood that I had to talk to 10 people. So you can see how I'm very focused on my numbers there. I had to do 50 calls. From 50 calls, I had to talk to 10 people. From 10 people or 10 decision makers, I had to get my 3 meetings. That means if you look on the flip side, I'm doing 50 calls, 40 don't pick up. I'm talking to 10 people. From 10 people, 7 people will say no to me, and that could be the first 7. I could talk to 10 people on a day, but the first 7 people say no. But I believe that the next 3 will say yes. And that was my law of averages, essentially, because I understood the relationship in my numbers. And I understood that if I got 3 meetings every day, at the end of the week, I had 15 meetings. Now, from that, I also understood that from 15 booked meetings, even if only 7 of them turned up, I've got my 7 meetings, which means at the end of a month, I do that for 4 weeks, I've got 21 meetings, 20 meetings. 20 to 21 meetings, I knew I was going to hit my deal target and my billing target. But you can see how the numbers work. You can see where the activity comes from. So my challenge to you from this video today is have a sit down, 5-10 minutes by yourself, have a think of your numbers, understand the relationship, the KPI flow, the sales process of your business, and set yourself some very clear KPIs on a weekly, monthly basis that'll help you to achieve that monthly billing revenue target. So guys, I hope this video has helped you. Well, thank you for watching it. Day number 6. My name's Mike. The company's SME Skills Academy. And when sales matter, we deliver. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day number 7. Cheers. Bye for now.